Dear listener, the angels have a special revelation for you. You're deeply touching someone younger. This happens because of a mystery only you carry, something that can't be taught and no one else can replicate. You have a light way of making everything around you more beautiful without forcing anything, without fancy words or empty promises. It's your quiet care, your willingness to be present without invading, your welcoming presence that doesn't constrain. It's how you arrive with a peace that calms, with a gaze that sees beyond words. Even your simplest words seem to know exactly where to touch. This younger person may have never experienced something like this, a calm feeling that doesn't suffocate, a companionship that doesn't weigh them down. With you, they're learning that love doesn't need to be loud to be true. That's why I ask you now, write 555 in the comments if you believe in this power of calm and true love, and declare your faith too. Don't be shy. What enchants is your way of listening with your heart, of giving yourself without losing your freedom. You attract because you're rare, you don't compete, demand or constrain. You add value. You're firm without being hard, sweet without being fragile. You look into eyes without invading, but with respect, as if seeing the soul. Even your silence teaches that being with you is a choice, not an obligation. With every step you take, there's a calm that spreads, a touch that welcomes, and a presence that becomes necessary for those around you. Your way of being is almost a reflection of what love should be: pure, true, without rush or pressure. There's nothing in you that demands anything from those around you, but there's something everyone feels when they're with you, the peace of being in the right place at the right time. You have the rare ability to touch souls so delicately that no one notices when it starts, but they feel it deeply when it's happening. It's no wonder this younger person has been drawn to this connection. It's not just your sweetness or firmness that warms their heart, it's everything you represent. With you, they can be who they truly are without fear of judgment, without needing to hide behind masks. With you, authenticity becomes the greatest gift they can offer. The simplest things, which many overlook, become special with you. The sparkle in your eyes, the discreet smile, the kind gesture, everything about you conveys a truth that's hard to find. What you do isn't just about giving affection, it's about teaching how to be love in every movement, every word, even in silence. All this makes this younger heart see the beauty of living genuinely, without rush or demands. This person now looks at the world with different eyes. That routine, once full of hurry and insecurities, now has a smoother rhythm. The uncertainties that were once the focus are now just small details, easier to handle when there's someone to share them with. You didn't make this happen with a strategy or plan. You made it happen with your natural way of being, your simple but profound presence. You've become the person who inspires this someone to surrender, to trust again, to not be afraid to open up because you never pressured them. You offered space for them to be who they truly are. And this space, given without any demands, is what made them realize that love doesn't need hurry to become real. It can be built slowly, without rush, without expectations, just in the natural flow of two people allowing themselves to be together. Slowly, they understand that they don't need grand promises to know you're someone they can trust. Your gaze, your listening, your words, and even your silences convey a security that can't be explained, but is felt. This security makes them open up more each day. Before, they were afraid to surrender, to show vulnerability. Now, by your side, they learn that vulnerability is a strength, not a weakness. And seeing this happen, you begin to perceive, perhaps for the first time, the impact you have on this person's life. It's not about being the center of attention or conquering in a conventional way. What you do effortlessly is simply being who you are, someone who loves sincerely and lightly, who doesn't demand but offers, who doesn't imprison but welcomes. This transforms everything around you softly and almost imperceptibly. This person, who once feared losing themselves in a love that could suffocate, now sees that love doesn't need to be a burden. It can be light, lived without fear of losing identity, without fear of fading away. You've taught them that it's possible to love with the freedom to be who you are, with the tranquility of knowing that beside someone who cares, there's no pressure, only mutual respect. This is something few people have the chance to experience. And when you look at this person, you see how much they've changed. It's not a forced or superficial change. It's a deep transformation, something that comes from within, because you've shown them how to live love. You've taught that love is something built, not demanded, that it's a daily choice, and that lightness is the key to a lasting bond. They now begin to see love in a different way, and you, without needing to say a single word about it, become a reference for how to love freely, without constraints, without anxieties. Beside you, they feel more whole, stronger, because you help them believe again in a love that is kind, that respects, that allows growth together without rush, without demands. This relationship has become something unique because you never pressured. On the contrary, you always gave the necessary space for everything to flow naturally. This is something this person never imagined they could experience, but you made it happen with your simple presence, with the strength of your affection, with the tranquility of your being. This younger heart surrenders not because of promises, but because being with you is light, safe. With you, it's possible to desire without dominating, to feel without getting lost, to love without fading away. And when you hold their hand, it's not just skin touching, it's trust, presence, a willingness to continue even without knowing what comes next. This person feels butterflies when they see you, but also a peace that few presences bring. You don't talk about the future, but you make the present have a special meaning. Everything about you reveals kindness, even unintentionally. You transmit something that transforms. They say you touch this person's heart, and they say it with reason. Perhaps you haven't even noticed, but you've been changing how this person sees love. Beside you, everything seems lighter. You don't need to call attention to yourself, you simply are. And it's by being so whole, so true, that this person feels things they've never felt before. You make them feel seen, valued, important. Your listening is rare, your gaze is full of intention, and your calm embraces even without words. The presence you bring is a gift. The world slows down by your side, conversations gain meaning, and the days become smoother. You've been a relief on difficult days, an anchor on stormy days, not by wanting to change anyone, but by adding to who already exists. And this has made all the difference. This younger heart has started to dream slowly, to trust again, to walk more firmly because you don't impose, you inspire. And if you feel that these words touch your heart, write 55 in the comments once more. Share your faith and how much you recognize this beautiful love that is blossoming. Perhaps looking at your own life, you've never noticed how much you've touched other people's hearts, but know that's exactly what happens. The simple fact of being who you are already makes all the difference. You don't need to try hard or show anything that isn't true. Your authenticity, your way of being, is enough to cause deep transformations in those who have the privilege of being close to you. With you, this person no longer feels they need to chase after something. By your side, they feel that love comes naturally, without rush, without pressure. You're not there to take anything but to give all that you have of most precious, your affection, your patience, your sincerity. And this is something rare, so rare that this person feels like they're living a dream they never knew they could have. As time passes, this heart understands what it means to love truly. It's not about grand gestures or grandiose words, but about the small actions that day after day build a bond stronger than any promise. And that's how, little by little, you gain the trust and heart of someone who was afraid to surrender, not because of promises, but because you are someone who can truly be trusted. This person gradually realizes that you not only changed how they see love, but also how they see themselves. Beside you, they've learned that it's possible to surrender without fear of losing freedom, that it's possible to walk together without losing oneself. And that's what makes your presence so important, not because you demand anything but because you give what is most precious, the freedom to be who you are. This heart that once lived in fear now surrenders with confidence. They know they're not being constrained but supported, and all this is possible because you have the ability to be love in every gesture, every word, every gaze. And that's what has made you touch this young heart deeply. You don't demand, but inspire. You don't take, but give. And that's why this love blossoms with all the beauty it always deserved. This feeling that arose wasn't from a game or need, but from synergy. You awakened a new desire to be better, to share life with someone who understands, supports, and elevates. You touch this heart because you offer security without stealing the shine, presence without demands, affection without constraining. You teach effortlessly just by being who you are, someone who cares with their gaze, with simple gestures, with attention. You're not just there in the good times, you're there when life demands more. This is rare, this is deep. And that's why the love that's born with you is light, true, and full of purpose. Your naturalness is what attracts the most. You don't force, you don't chase after approval. But even so, everything about you catches attention because everything you are inspires reciprocity, dedication, care. You've become a place of peace and discovery for this heart that once protected itself. Before, this person avoided bonds. Now they want to allow themselves to feel, to be with you, not out of need, but by choice. Because with you, everything has a different rhythm, a different color, a different intention. With you, love seems possible again, seems real, seems right. And perhaps you don't even know the impact you're causing. But the truth is, you're touching this heart with truth, with presence, with dedication. You don't try to change anyone, you just invite them to live something sincere. If all this makes sense to you, if you feel that love is blossoming inside you, leave 55 in the comments and declare, I receive. Connect with this energy, with this presence, with this love that transforms without making a fuss, because you have been exactly that transformation, inspiration, true love. And that's what makes you so unforgettable.